So we're going to look at how to solve system of inequalities by graphing. To do this, we're going to review how to graph inequalities and then solving systems using graphs. So let's quickly review graphing inequalities. The first thing you want to do is you want to draw the graph of the equation, and if it's a greater than or a less than, you want to change the lines from solid lines to broken lines or to dotted lines. Identify the region that satisfies the inequality, and then we want to shade that. Let's start with this example. We have a graph of y greater than x plus 2. So we're going to first draw the graph of y equal to x plus 2. And for the sake of this, I'm going to look at the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So in this case, our x-intercept is plus 2. So our y-intercept is plus 2, our x-intercept is negative 2, because we have a positive slope. So because we have greater than, we don't have an equal to, I'm just going to go ahead and use broken lines here. Use broken lines here. And we want to find the region that satisfies this inequality. With straight lines or linear equations or linear inequalities, you're safe with, if it's greater than, you shade above the line. If it's less than, you shade below the line. But also we have available to us the origin test. So here's what the origin test helps us do. We're going to use the point 0, 0 to see if the points with that include the origin, this is the origin right here, the point 0, 0, if the point that includes the origin is in the region that satisfies this inequality. So let's try that. So it says 0, which is y, is greater than 0 plus 2. So we're saying 0 greater than 2. This is false. So any region with the origin does not satisfy this inequality. So what that tells us is the regions that do not have the origin satisfies the inequality, and we can also see that that region is the region above the line. So this is the region that satisfies the inequality. And I said earlier, with straight lines, you are safe with assuming that if it's greater than, you shade above the line. If it's less than, you shade below the line. So next, we're going to look at another inequality. Here we have a quadratic inequality. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get the x and the y-intercepts. So let's try to solve the inequality. So we have x squared minus 4x minus 12 equal to 0. So we have x minus 6 and then x plus 2 equal to 0. So we have x equal to 6 and negative 2. If you need help with this, there's a video that covers this in depth. So x equal to 6. So we have that point right here, and we have negative 2 right here. And then our y-intercept is going to be negative 12. That right there. So we have negative 12, so that's going to be right about here. That's our y-intercept. So now we're going to come up with the graph for this inequality. So here's what we're going to do. I already know it's less than, so I'm just going to use broken lines all the way through. So let's do this right here. Okay. We have broken lines right here. Okay, and broken lines all the way through. Broken lines. Okay, so this is the broken lines here. And we're going to use the origin test. So the origin test means that we're going to look for 0, 0 and see whether the point 0, 0 is part of the region that satisfies this inequality. So we have 0 is less than 0 minus 0 minus 12. So it says 0 is less than negative 12. This is false. So every region within the graph that has the origin does not satisfy the inequality. So what we're going to do here is we're going to shade portion of the graph that do not contain the origin. So this is the region that satisfies the inequality. Now, let's look at solving a system using graphs. First, we're going to draw the graph of the inequalities and we're going to look for a region that is an intersection of all the different inequalities that are represented. So what that means here is we're going to draw each of the inequalities, find the region that satisfies each inequality, and where you have an intersection of regions, that's where you're going to have the solution to your system. Let's try with this. We're going to start off by drawing the graph of y equal to y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 3. So negative 5x plus 3, our y-intercept is plus 3. That's right about here, right here. And our x-intercept, let's look for that. Our x-intercept 0 equal to negative 5x plus 3. Negative 3 equal to negative 5x. So our x-intercept is probably at this point right here.